first started off a few years ago, it was very much based in that sort of golden period of pop music in the mid-70s, which was really sort of very much kicked into touch when punk and new wave arrived. So bands like 10cc and ELO were absolutely magnificent pop bands, were sort of all of a sudden giving them a little bit of the cold shoulder.
They weren't cool because they didn't have safety pins stuck through their noses.
And they have beards. The beards just done.
And I think they're a bit more caring. I don't think they spit in the streets.
They probably didn't.
I think they treat women quite well as well.
So if it started there, in that period there, it sort of soon morphed into the 80s, and with each generation that now passes through Guilty Pleasures, because it's been going that long, there's a different take of Guilty Pleasures artists.
Your Guilty Pleasures depends on what sort of decade you grew up in, like mine are more sort of 80s and 90s.
Yeah, mine are definitely...
I'm sure it's like the 40s.
Mine's definitely based in the 70s, and yours, if mine are ELO and 10cc and Hall and Oates, you're more of a...
Jermaine Stewart and Whitney and... Well, the thing is about me is that I don't have any guilt. I think they're all marvellous, but the thing is,
this is the brilliant thing about it all. Since we started it, like people come up and go, yeah, well, I don't feel that guilty about it. It's like, you know, the bottom line is, what we try and do is play pop music that connects on certain levels that you know it's just a little bit nah.
Yeah, you don't want to lose face in front of your mates. You like, you know, if you listen to...
They're the records that you keep
music
tucked at the back of your either your vinyl collection or your CD collection. I'll tell you one thing. I think this is quite important to the whole history of it. It's like it's sort of all the whole Guilty Pleasures philosophy is based on basically late nights back at my house a few years ago when I used to get when the night wasn't long enough for the people that you were hanging out with. So you'd gone out to a bar, you'd gone out to a club. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, but you still wanted more. And so I would sort of entice people back to my flat and play them Barbra Streisand records and really, really try and convince them that these are some of the greatest records ever made, because I do actually truly believe they are. A bit like a sort of 80s synth duo, you know. I'm the brains and the musical one.
Are you Chris Lowe and
I am very obviously Chris Lowe, and you're very obviously Neil Tennant. I just sort of, you know, I'm the one my radar is sensing the nuances of the crowd and exactly where we should go with the next record. And
just showing off.
We were asked by George Michael's people.
Did you say we were asked by George Michael?
No, George Michael's people. I like that because it keeps him quite aloof from the whole thing. We were asked by George Michael's people to open for George at the new Wembley Stadium, the new one, the one that just opened about 3 years ago. And we were so chuffed to have this incredible honour to be able to, in a way I might have preferred it if it was Andrew Ridgeley down the Bullet Gate, but it was George. And we ended up on this mad stage playing our pop records, like through a sound system that wasn't even turned up. And afterwards we discovered that the reason that George Michael had asked us specifically was because he didn't want any other musical act, as in a performer, as in a singer or a band, to play before him, so that he could claim that he was the first musical act to open the new Wembley Stadium. But you know what? We claim that off you, George. We're having that. We opened Wembley Stadium.
And thanks for the oysters. They were delicious. Honestly, the most amazing catering I've ever seen in my life.
What other ones have we had along the way?
We did take that at the O2.
Take that at the O2, New Year's Eve. That was a good
We were on when the ad breaks were on. we came up through the...
We came up in the middle of the stadium. Literally, it was me behind the desk with Anna, and she just looked at me and she went, "What should I do?" And I just went, "Fucking dance, dance." And
just dance
around and around for 20 minutes. over the course of the Edinburgh Festival, we're going to be hosting Guilty Pleasures parties from the opening night, which is on the Wednesday,
4th of August,
through till the Sunday, and then we're going to be basically performing Guilty Pleasures from Thursday through till Sunday for every weekend of the Edinburgh Festival. So, fuck knows what sort of state we're going to be in by the end of that. I mean, that's a lot of dancing, that's a lot of singing,
I think we can
that's
do
a lot of pop.
Yeah.